In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you all how I shot a hole in my dad's blind. If you like what you see, make sure to subscribe and let's get started. So last year was my second year of hunting. I knew what to do, so it wasn't like one of those situations where I was like, oh, what do I do? But there was a deer standing about 100 yards away from our blind. We were up on a hill, and then below the hill is a pond, and it's a fenced-in area, and there's a pond and everything, and the deer was inside the fence. All I would have to do was raise up my gun and shoot, but you know, of course it wasn't that easy. So I was like kneeled on the ground and then sat back in my chair, but then I finally got it to where I could see the deer out of my scope, and you know, I shot, but apparently my barrel was still inside the blind. In the scope, I wasn't seeing the blind, but my barrel was still inside the blind. So that was really an experience. And the funny thing is right before this all happened, my dad's like, you know, make sure you don't shoot my new blind, you know, because it was new, and he's like, if you shoot it, you know, I'm gonna make you buy me a new one or fix it or whatever. And the one thing I did was shoot a hole in his blind. So that was it. I was just so upset when it happened, and my dad was just laughing at me. And that was the very first year that I was trying to videotape a hunt, but it never happened. The camera kept shutting off. We were using a little faux GoPro, and it just wasn't working. So I never got that video on camera, which was really sad because that would have been really cool to share with you guys. So after, you know, I accidentally shot my dad's blind, you know, of course, we were done hunting. You could see right through the blind, and it was terrible. We went back to camp, and I told everyone the story, and they were just laughing, and we still joke about it a lot till this day. So that, I mean, it's a funny story, but at the time I was just so upset. But I can laugh about it now, so that it's funny now. But man, I was just so upset when it happened, but it's really funny. I'll probably never forget that story. On my channel here, I made a video about fixing the blind, and you know, we took clear Gorilla Tape and we taped it up like the outside of the hole, and then on the inside, and then we spray painted it green. Ashley helped me with that. That video was really fun to make. You know, we had a lot of fun. I made a bloopers video off of that because there were just so many funny moments. I just thought, you know, I had to share that. I have not used a blind yet that we fixed. We haven't really hunted out a blind yet this year. That video was really fun to make, and I think the blind held up really well. I'm like that. My dad bought a new one shortly after we fixed that one because he's like, well, that was our smallest blind, so he's just like, well, that's the one I get to use now. Good and bad things came out of that. Well, the bad thing was my dad had a hole in his brand new blind. It was brand new, probably the third time he used it, but he ended up getting a new blind and I ended up getting his old one. So I would not say it was a loss, but I'm just glad we can laugh about it now. I just can't believe that my dad, the first thing he said was, don't shoot a hole in my blind, and that's what happened. It was just so funny. Every time we go to camp every year since then, it's just like, do you remember that time when you shot a hole in the blind? And I'm like, yeah, I do. Sadly, I do, yes. And I really wish I would have got that on video, but you know, since then I really think we've figured it out more, and you know, that was a year ago. So I really think if something were to ever happen like that again, it would certainly get on film. You guys have been hearing about that a lot, but never have actually heard the real story. So there you go. You know, that's the story about how I shot a hole in my dad's blind. I really hoped you enjoyed listening today, and I hope you got a good laugh about this. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and thank you so much for watching.